What's going on, y'all? Great to be back for episode 53. Man, there's a lot of things that y'all are sending me that I love, and continue to keep sending those direct messages, continue to keep sending the feedback on some of the questions you want me to address and things like that. So I really appreciate all those that are sending that. Continue to do so. It gives me not only topics and gives me things that I can hit on as you guys want me to talk about. So continue to keep doing that. I really appreciate it. Without further ado, I'm going to kind of jump into today's topic because I want to keep them short, I want to keep them sweet, and I want to keep them just to the point, right? We all live a busy life and just want to we really want to get to the point. You know, when I read books, I want to get to that $1 million idea as fast as possible so I can start applying that rather than sitting there and reading for hours, right? Yeah, reading can be, a nice therapeutic sometimes, but at the end of the day, I really want to just get the information out and start applying it. So I want to try and do the same thing here, jump right into it, and just go for it. So today I want to talk about two different things. They kind of go together, but they're along the same lines, right? But there are two different things. And first off, we probably already heard it, that the idea of eating the frog first, right? Eating the frog first, what does that mean, right? Doing the thing you don't really want to do first thing in the morning or first part of your day. So it's that thing that you probably, neglect a little bit. You're just like, I'll push that off to the side. I'll wait a little bit. I'll address that a little bit later. It's taking that thing that we usually push off because we don't want to deal with it. Maybe we're pushing it off because we don't want to, or because, it's causing some type of stress, and we're like, I don't want to deal with the stress. But the reality is, if the longer you push that out, if you're still having stress about it, why not just get it done, be done with it, the rest of your day feels free. We all know that feeling when we finish that task, we finish that thing we've been kind of pushing off a little bit, and then we finish it, we're like, God, I gotta breathe a little bit. Like, why don't we do that the first day in the morning so we have the rest of the day to feel that other way? So find that thing that you have, and usually I do that at night, and I'll kind of get into that process, and it just kind of depends, I'm starting to plan out my day, whether it's at night or in the morning, saying, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, this is how I'm gonna do it. But start with that thing that's the thing you don't want to do first, because one, you have the most energy at the very beginning of the day than you do at the end of the day. Why not utilize all your energy on the thing that you know you have to do, that you don't want to, that may be challenging and you may not even want to do at all, but it still needs to be done? Do that first thing so you're utilizing all of your energy there. That's going to be a lot harder task to do at the end of the day when you don't even feel like doing anything else anyway. So you got to remember that. That's the second thing. In the process of doing it, scheduling out your day in phases or parts of the day is a huge piece. I've learned this actually from Ed Mylett and read it in his book and heard it from a video, and that kind of led me down a rabbit trail of trying to find out what the answer was, how he does it, and all that kind of stuff. Was this idea of how like a 3-day in one day. Well, I'll kind of explain what that means. Is how he breaks up his days is 6-hour segments basically, and getting all of as much of a day's task that you can in one 6-hour segment. And then there's another 6-hour segment, and there's another 6-hour segment, and then obviously you go to sleep and there's another one. So you got 6 hours times 4, okay? So when you do that, for me it's in the morning, it's 5 to 11. So that first 5 to 11, I'm trying to do as much as I possibly can, a day's work in that period of time, and then the next time I'm doing 11 to 5, and then 5 to 11. And trying to get in bed by 11, right? So I have these 3 sets of, I call them phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 of my day. And my goal is to not only get as much as I can done in those pieces of that, but what it does from a psychological level is most of us go into like, hey, I got to finish all these tasks in this 24-hour period of time, or 18-hour period, 16-hour, depending on what you sleep, right? So you finish all these tasks, and you give yourself, and we all know this, we give ourselves the amount of time or allotted time that we have to finish those tasks. So what do most of us do, even if we don't even think about it, what we subconsciously do is we can kind of be a little bit lax on certain areas because we know we have more time to finish, right? We all understand this. If we went to school, we had projects that were due and it was coming down, we kind of procrastinated to the last minute and we know it needs to be done by midnight. All of a sudden we get all of our work done from 11 to 12 and we've had all day or even weeks before to finish it. Why is that? It's because we have that pressure of time. We know when it's due, but we kind of delay until there's no other option, but we have to do it. Well, if you put that kind of same almost structure on your days and that tenacity you have to step up every sequence of that day, so phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, where you have a cutoff, you have that same push, that same drive because it's due. All those things are due by 11 for me, right? So all the things that I got to get done by 11. All the things that I got to get done by 5. And then all the things about by 11, right? So I'm having that push to be, this is when my quote unquote, that day or phase ends. So it gives me that upbeat where I'm having to move, right? I can't just sit around like, I'll get to it later today. No, it's got to be done by 11. I'm giving myself a deadline, and giving myself a deadline allows me to have a little bit more focus. I have to be more mentally there. I have to be more locked in because I can't be lax because there's other things. We all know, right? We have had busy days, and we have days that are kind of a little bit less, we kind of move and we kind of do it a little differently, right? We have things we can move into place and all that kind of stuff. And those days that are super busy and that's jam-packed, you don't give yourself excuses to push things out because you don't have time to push anything else because it's back to back to back to back. But what if we lived our days that way, where we approached everything that we needed to get done as if it was already on the schedule and it was with somebody else that we couldn't miss, right? A lot of us are good with other people. A lot of us are good when we go on meetings with other people, and we're like, yeah, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be present. I'm going to give all my energy. You don't walk into a meeting tired, like, man, you know what? It's a crazy day. I can. You don't do that. You walk in, you're present. You bring all the energy. You need to approach that same focus and that same level of energy to your day, whether you're meeting with somebody or not, because at the end of the day, you're meeting your future version of yourself in every single moment you have by yourself. I'm going to say that again. You're meeting your future version of yourself in every moment you have by yourself. Why? Because at the end of that day, did you become the best version of yourself? Did you put your best effort forward? Did you actually achieve what you said you were going to do? And if you're not, over time, what that looks like is you not becoming that person that you wanted to be, right? Every single day, you get further and further and further away from who you could be. At this point in time, you're going to be really upset of who that is. But if you're focused and you're doing it every single day, and you're becoming that, when you look here and you look up after a little bit of time, you're like, man, like you realize how far you've come and what you've been able to accomplish in a short period of time just because you've been intentional, right? So everybody only has 24 hours a day. Everybody, I don't care who you are, but how do you make those 24 hours count? This is a perfect example. You don't have to do it. You don't have to be crazy like this, but I want you to at least take away the mental discipline of, okay, like I've got to put a deadline on this today, not in a week, not by end of day. Push that deadline up. What's his name? Elon Musk talks about the idea of like, hey, what's your yearly goal? What's your goal in what you need to accomplish this year or even in 10 years? And he talks about bringing that all the way up. His frame is like, what can you accomplish in a year? How can you do it in 6 months? Right? It's the same process. What do you have to accomplish today? Okay, how can you do that by 11 a.m.? What do you have to accomplish, today? How can I do that by 12? How can I accomplish by this time? Right? And learning how to do that. Why? Because you capitalize on the hours you have. Because guess what that does for you? Everybody talks about freedom. Everybody talks about wanting to live, an extravagant life. Everybody wants to talk about, I want to do me, right? We want that, and we want to be able to do what we want to do. What if you could be so efficient that you could finish everything that you would typically do in a window of time that you have right now by noon, or by 1, or by 2? What does that do for your life? Right? You have from 2 till the time you go to sleep to do the things that you want to do. Spend time with family. Spend time with friends. Go do something, right? If you're more efficient with your time and you put those deadlines on, you can finish the same amount of work in that period of time and enjoy the rest of the day. Now, you can also, too, if the person's like, hey, I want the whole day to work, guess what that does? If you get done by 2, what you would typically do in a normal day, now you have the rest of the day to put what you would do tomorrow, today. Now, guess what? You start having days back every single week. What does that do to your life? Right? That takes back years over time. You can spend with your kids, you can spend vacationing, you can do all these different things if you just take the moments of the 24-hour period and you take those moments not for granted, but to be efficient with those and to take advantage of them. So, like I said, I want to get straight to the point. I hope this challenges you. I hope this helps you. I hope this gives you some type of little things that you can use during the day, because it's helped me structure my days. And yes, I'm not perfect at it all the time. Don't get me wrong. I'm not the one that's like literally just learned this and I'm applying this to my life, and it's been revolutionary because it allows me to come with that same mindset that I need to come with. Right? But I want to share that with you. Like I told you from the very beginning of the video podcast from 50 on, is that We got to start sharing what we're learning. Why? Because not only does it help us learn it, but it keeps us accountable. But at the same time, why not share the game with everybody else? I wish someone would have shared that with me. Why not do that for someone else and pay it forward? But I'm telling you, this is a game changer if you can start applying this. Please comment below or reach out to me in the direct messages or whenever you hear this and let me know what you think. Let me know once you start applying this and if it's helping, if it's working, and different questions you may have, because I've kind of gone through this process a little bit and dealing with how to maneuver different things to make it work. And I would love to help you out. But I look forward to talking to you guys soon, and I'll see you again on the next episode.